welcome back to another episode of Dada's Prime Hobbies. So today, I'm going to be sharing with you how to see if we can try to get a little bit more power out of this laptop. So this laptop, it is a Acer Aspire 5. It belongs to a very close friend of my wife's. She bought it for work, pretty much just for streaming chats and stuff like that, and surfing the internet. She got it for $300, really good price. Now she's starting to do other stuff with it. She uses a program called Circuit Design Space, and she's starting to notice that programs starting to crash or just have a lackluster power. I did some research and kind of find out that this laptop is pretty much right at the bare minimum for that program. So she can't really have anything else running in the background. It's not that old. It's a 2019. It is a Ryzen 3 3200U. I'm also going to have the other specs listed here. So with the 3200U, it's 2 cores, 4 threads. It does have an SSD, but it's only 128 gigs. The really kicker is it's only got 4 gigs of RAM. So quite literally, like, she's at the base minimum for that program. She needs to have 4 gigs of RAM and 2 cores, and she's got it, but she can't pretty much do anything else at the same time. So we're gonna try to see if we can add some more RAM and try to upgrade the storage just a little bit. Now, if you're gonna be doing something like this with your laptop, make sure you do some research, see if it is even upgradable. If you could try looking online, the best place where I've found is actually going to Crucial's website. So they sell a lot of the memory and the storage and stuff like that, where they give you a tool that allows you to see whether or not your computer is upgradable or not. And they'll give you a list of items that you can actually install on them. If you really want to go into it, you can try taking the cover off and try to see if you can actually see if some of the components are replaceable, however you want. But don't just go ahead and start buying parts and assuming that it's going to work with your laptop. So I did check out Crucial's website before getting into this, so I know that I can put some new parts in here. So now we're going to talk about some of the things I am going to upgrade. So it comes in here with a SSD, 128 gigs. I don't know what brand yet until I get into it. We're going to step up to a Sabrent 1 terabyte SSD NVMe. So she'll have a lot more storage, especially for pictures or other projects for her Circuit Design Space. And for the RAM, none other than Crucial, which I found the part number from Crucial's website. This is their 16 gigabyte kit, 2 sticks of 8 gigs of RAM, DDR4. I didn't really go very overboard on speed. It's only 2400 megahertz SODIMM memory, but it's gonna be a hell of a difference than just only having 4 gigs of RAM. So with that said, let's start tearing into it and see if we can make this bad boy a little bit nicer to use. All right, everyone. So once you've got all your parts and you're ready to start doing the upgrade, a couple things you need to keep in mind when you get ready to start doing this. So just for some tools that you're going to need a number 2 Phillips head screwdriver. Doesn't have to be magnetic or not. I sometimes prefer the magnetic one. And you're going to need something to pry the panels apart. Something plastic, or maybe like a plastic scraper. A flathead screwdriver can work, but just be careful so you don't break the trim or anything. I personally love my iFixit kit. It quite literally has everything in it that I need. It's got an assortment of different bits, different kinds of spreaders, grounding strap. I use this on computers. I even use this on working on my transformers for doing modifications. You name it, I've used it for everything. It's even covered in dog fur, just for a novelty feature. I also like using the cover because it has these little slots in here, and so they're actually great for screw storage. And I'll show you that here in a minute. So if you didn't already know, make sure that your laptop is powered off. You're not going to be able to change any of the components with it powered on. You're going to run the risk of damaging your laptop, and we don't want to do that. So we'll close that. Flip it over. There's 10 screws here on the bottom. We're going to take all those off and then pry this bottom piece off. So let's see if we can do that without me breaking it. Take my handy dandy iFixit kit, my number 2-bit, go to town. All right. Correction number 1. It is not a number 2 Phillips. It is a number 1 Phillips screwdriver bit. So make a little correction there. So I love the fact that the end of the screwdriver is magnetic, so it'll hold on to my screws. I can then just take my screw, put it in my handy dandy iFixit case, set it there in the little divider, and I know exactly where it's come from. And let's continue on with the rest of them. All right, and then I'm just going to try different kinds of plastic spudgers that they have inside the kit, find out which one works best for this setup, and take this back piece off. All right, so I had problems trying to get started with either one of these plastic spudgers, so I had to use a metal one to get started. Now I'm using this one to continue on, so I'm just prying up a little bit on it. Just get a little tension as I'm pulling up on the bottom. All right. Now that we got the back panel off, let's get a better look at this. So if you want to add on this model, this particular model, some of them might actually come with this. It's got a spot for a 2.5-inch hard drive or 2.5-inch SSD. Here's your spot for your 2 sticks of RAM. Here's what's in it already. I'm gonna pull it out, see what it says. So it is a 4 gig stick of 2666. As you can see, here is the SSD that comes with from the factory. It is a SK Hynix 128 gigabyte. So I'm gonna start off by replacing these. Because this computer does not have an additional SSD slot, and you want to transfer all the data from this one to the new one, you may want to consider a NVMe to USB adapter, or if you're planning on just going with a SATA M.2, you're going to need an adapter for that as well. So what I actually have, I'm going to take both these and I'm going to put it into my big gaming rig here, and I'm just going to copy the data from this SSD onto this one using a program called Aomi. I believe that's what it's called. I will put the correct name on the screen down below. Yeah. So let me go ahead and stick the RAM in here real quick, and then I'll go ahead and start taking these out and take care of that. All right. So now that I've taken this out, I'm going to go ahead and copy this operating system over to our new drive and then put it back in here. All right. So I just got done cloning the hard drive, or excuse me, the SSD that she had in the computer onto the new Saprent. So before I install it, I want to kind of talk about this strip right here. So on a larger computer, something like that, that has room for like a heat spreader or something like that, or if it even has a heat spreader, or you can put a heat spreader on there, I would highly recommend pulling this off. This one, however, is not going to have the room for such that. So what I am going to do is I am going to leave it on. And the reason for that, I'm just going to try to gently pull this up. I don't know if this computer's going to pick it up. So this is actually like a copper foil. Get out my camera. So inside this is actually a little copper foil. And I'm assuming that is part of their factory heat spreader. So now, on a normal basis, will you have to probably pull this off? Probably not. I just do it so that way I can get direct contact onto the memory chips. But on this, I'm just going to leave it right here just like this. So. All right. And there we go. So 2 brand new sticks of memory, brand new storage, and she still has plenty of room to add additional storage if you wanted to. If you've got a model something like this, you can get to your battery if you need to replace it. The only thing I wish, so a lot of laptops, especially to make them smaller, they've done away with that you can actually replace the CPU chip. I've got 2 older laptops that I'm going to show you in the future that where you can actually upgrade the CPU. On something like this, if you do enough research, you could actually find the motherboard and replace the motherboard. But don't know if it's worth all the hassle, because by the time you probably find the motherboard, probably just find a laptop that you'd like on eBay a lot cheaper or buy a brand new one. But sometimes it's just fun to do the upgrades. It's kind of like upgrading a car that has no reason to be upgraded, but you want to do it anyways because it's cool. So with that said, let's get the back panel put back on and let's see if this thing still works. All right, for the moment of truth. We got a post. Well, so sadly, as you can see now, I don't have the laptop. I tried different ways of trying to flash the SSD onto the laptop to retain all the original information, so I didn't have to worry about copying anything over. Sadly, that did not work. I ended up spending a day or so trying to get that straightened away. I ended up just reinstalling Windows 10 and just starting fresh, and then just tried porting everything over using share mouse. The reason I don't have video of it is because I needed to do it in a hurry. She had to take the laptop with her the next day. So I just needed to hurry up and get it out of here. It's actually been a couple weeks since I started this video. So my whole plan with the video was not only to have an instructional video on how to replace the stuff on that said laptop, but kind of have a video and just trying to show you how to, clone a hard drive. Sadly, that did not happen that way. So I tried many different things. For some reason, when I cloned that SSD and I tried to put it in that laptop, would not boot. I could clone it. I could put it in my ASRock X300. I could put it in my system, and it would boot just fine. But for some reason, and I even tried different partitions. I tried GPT, I tried MBR, and for some reason, would not boot on that laptop. So I don't know if Acer has some kind of security setup on their motherboard or whatnot. I'm pretty sure somebody could enlighten me in the comments down below. But I was unfortunately not able to figure it out. I spent a lot of time trying to make it work. Anyways, as I said, all it is, I pretty much just reinstalled Windows 10. I booted up the system on my computer, used share mouse, just drag files, whatever. She told me that she would probably need, which I think it ended up working out better for her because I installed, I did the Windows 10 debloater, and so she picked up a little bit of speed with it. It seems like she pretty much had a baseline laptop. Long story short, she is happy with the end result. She does have more RAM, so she's not being lagged down by having active processes going on, since most of hers is actually internet based. And she has more storage now. So all in all, it turned out good. However, my goal of trying to not only show you how to replace the components on that said laptop, but also try to show the cloning, as I said, didn't work. So I kind of feel like it was a successful failure, but yeah, I think that's all I got. Hopefully this video has been helpful for somebody, especially with that laptop. Unfortunately, it wasn't everything I hoped it to be. So with that said, I think I'm just going to end this video with my head down low and just know that I completed the job, albeit not how I planned, and I will leave it at that. So thank you for watching this video. If you liked it, please hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and I shall see you in the next one. Thank you.